won't replace the person we think she replaced. But what that served, I think, and I'm not sure if this was the intention or not, but if you're on AOC's PR team and you're seeing all this criticism of her from the left, having that headline, like, which people took, and like that was the main takeaway from the interview, AOC calls for new leadership. That kind of, I think, deflected some of the criticism that AOC was getting from the left.
Yeah.
And made her look as if she was challenging Pelosi when A, she wasn't, and B, she wasn't really, again, addressing the substance of the whole issue, which is the push you inspired for a floor vote on Medicare for all.
Yeah. It's I don't even know what else to say. How many times she can be revealed? How many times she can reveal herself? I was disappointed that Jeremy Scahill didn't ask a follow-up question either, as if he didn't know what they were. The follow-up questions are all obvious. They're all over Twitter. All you have to do is just go like this. Oh, there's a follow-up question. That's all you have to do. But it seems like the Intercept's whole business model is fucking riding the fumes off of the squad, and then as soon as they figure out that AOC isn't sufficiently, cool enough, they'll start being critical of her, I bet. But that's not happening right now. So again, I can outdo all those fucking guys, and it's easy. It's not hard at all. I can do it high and drunk. I can do a better job than 99.9% of the journalists in America, because they're all bought and paid for. How they can sit there and let that happen to Glenn Greenwald is a joke.
Well, Jimmy Dore's going to fight.
Jimmy, how much time do you have? Because I know you have something else coming up. It's 5:30 now for you.
Okay. Can I go in like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I just wanted to say, add two quick things. One, first of all, we were so grateful to all of the people, the Super Chat people who are donating. It really, it means a lot to help keep all this independent journalism going, and all the commentators. We have so many, it's hard to respond, but there is a comment here, Jimmy. Stephen Kuhn wrote, "Ben, release the hounds and get Jimmy to read Lenin." And all I'll say is, Jimmy, you should read State and Revolution. It'll blow your mind. Talk about understanding how politics works.
Reading is hard. Is it on tape?
It's the audiobook version.
Is it on tape?
Yeah, but the comment I wanted to make is, and actually we have another guest. In a second I'm going to bring in Katie Halper, friend of the show.
Fucking Russian infiltrator.
A Russian infiltrator.
We have all the Russian assets here.
Yeah. I know what Katie does, and she does this with Matt Taibbi too. It's first they build up trust with their audience, and then there's the bait and switch. It starts with Lee Camp and then Putin.
Hey, Katie.
Hey, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Great.
Hi. You're wearing your
I'm wearing Russian hats. Yes, correct. I'm having so many windows open. Nice. Sorry?
Dobry den. I think it's morning over there. And
oh, yeah. I'm pretending not to understand so people don't know that I'm working for Putin. Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
You do a great Russian accent.
It's good.
Well, one day I used to do Russian. Okay, hi all the haters out there. You might as well hear it from me. I did Russian Ukrainian folk dance for like 15 years, and there are all these pieces of photos of me in Banuk and stuff. So I'll get those online soon enough.
Hey, that's cultural appropriation.
I know, but
time out for that.
Well, I think if you're Jewish, you're allowed to do that to like Russians and Ukrainians because they owe us quite a bit.
You grew up doing Russian, Ukrainian folk dance? Man, how do I have friends with these fucking people? How do I...
Jimmy, she's a red diaper babe.
Yeah,
that's what all communists do.
I mean, it could have been any other dancing. It just happened to be that these lefties in our neighborhood did that.
Oh, okay.
That's what the lifelong Soviet assets say.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah. I mean, that's that anyway. But yeah, I'll find the photos.
Katie, I never danced, but I used to wrestle. Not very long, usually just until I came. But,
Damn.
Yeah, if I could have controlled my orgasm, I could have went to state. Anyway, boy, did my dad hate Saturdays. My opponents were like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Look what you're wearing."
The wrestling outfits will do it. Depends on your taste, I guess, but yeah.
I have to say, Katie, you probably did the Ukrainian dancing in the Soviet era, but then when the Nazis took over, they wouldn't let you do the Ukrainian dancing anymore.
Yeah, they put me in a big timeout.
Hey, about your reaction. Oh, you have a question, Aaron?
Go ahead, Jimmy. No.
Katie, what's your reaction to being, I don't want to name names without evidence, but being called a Russian asset infiltrator by a Emmy Award-winning guy who just got caught being trying to censor a movie that exposed his fucking grip?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting that I think there are a lot of personal attacks that are happening against many of us. And the irony is that one of the biggest things that people use to attack you, in particular, is your personality and things you've said and that you're toxic and then you talk out of your ass. And I just want to be clear, like, Jimmy and I, there are things that you and I disagree on, but I've never felt the need to attribute that disagreement to your being paid off or having some kind of, governmental support by some other government. And I just think it's really actually, like, as funny as it is, and it really does create great comedy, especially when you make these videos where you watch the videos unfold and you hear people getting called, infiltrators and bait and switch and building trust. But I actually do think it's really scary that people get away with that stuff. Like, there's no, I'm not for canceling people, but there should be some calling in. Like, you should have to deal with something if you say that people are taking Assad money or people are infiltrators. Like, that's not okay to just throw those terms around lightly. And if you want to come for someone, come on substance. Like, or come up with an argument about the matter at hand. But this, like, it's just gross, and it's smearing, and it's toxic, ironically. And again, we don't all have to agree on things, but especially if you're trying to play the high horse, I just find it funny when people are trying to go after you, Jimmy. They're like, that toxic smearer, that Assadist toxic smearer who's being paid by Putin, why can't he just talk about issues? Why does he have to make it so personal? Like, okay. All right.
Again, the people who they're upset that I'm yelling at are all politicians. That's who I yell at. I don't yell at waitresses and bus drivers on my show. I'm yelling at and holding account the most powerful people in the world during their biggest failure in the world, the CARES Act, and now this. So that's, yes, as Nina Turner said, I'm yelling like my hair's on fire because my hair's on fire.
Yeah, I know,
and the problem is other people aren't upset enough.
I'm just saying that even going on there, like, I agree with you that yelling at powerful people is extremely different from, like, yelling at someone who isn't powerful. I just think that, and we should be talking about, right, the forced to vote and other issues, but what I do think is ironic is that the very narrative of Jimmy is just doing this for attention and he's toxic, so I'm going to call him an Assadist and keep talking about him all the time. Please like this video. It's just, the sincerity and the good faith is pretty obviously not there.
My show was already very popular. I didn't have to do this to get more popular. I don't know what people, I'm already selling out theaters wherever I go. I didn't have to become more popular. I'm doing this because this is a chance to get Medicare for all and to see and to expose to people how our system doesn't work for them.
Well, this is also funny because we always get accused of the same thing, and people are like, you're taking that position on Syria, China, Nicaragua, Venezuela for popularity. What? It's literally the exact opposite. Everyone hates us because of that. What are you talking about?
And who's paying? Again, I would love to see the receipts because I'm getting, like, totally not, I didn't know about this and I'm owed a lot of money if that's the reason. If that's the motive. But yeah, I just think it's just gross. It's totally like neo-McCarthyism. All you have to say, and Matt Tice has been a lot about this, all you have to say are some words that make people have an icky, visceral response to it. That person is just tainted and toxic, and you don't even have to go into what the issue is or what they've said or done in the past. It's just that they are Assadists, they are Putinists, they're repeating these talking points, they're repeating those talking points. So again, just bring it. If you want to debate things, that's fine. But especially if you're like a journalist who follows the money, yeah, show the receipts, yeah.
But Katie, you can't repeat Putin talking points. You have to explain why you're doing that. I mean, if you're going to repeat Putin talking points, you have to explain yourself.
That's the other thing that's so frustrating, right, is that, like, if you make an argument that is being, like, a Putin talking point, according to, like, Susan Rice, is that George Floyd was murdered, and that's bad. Like, Susan Rice said that was a Russian talking point. Probably. She said it probably was. She told us a Wolf Blitzer. Kamala Harris said the same thing about Kaepernick, right? All these things. So by that standard, ridiculous thing to say. There's no evidence, but also, like, there are people, I bring up the example of the TPP, because that's always in my head. It may not be the greatest example, to me it makes sense, but, like, Trump and Bernie were both against the TPP, and people would try to say, like, Bernie's Trumpian because he's against the TPP, and that's just not how things work. Like, people support things for different reasons, and I can't believe we have to explain this, but we kind of do have to.
But I share your verklempt over that there's a space in our culture for people to do that freely and not even worry. That just whenever someone gets in a corner, they go, "There's a Russian, there's an infiltrator, they take money to Assad." That's Hillary Clinton playbook 101. And the fact that it comes from the left now that's accepted. It's just accepted you could do that, and there's no price to pay for that because everybody did that in the media.
Yeah,
well, I gotta say, Katie, the idea that if Putin says that the Earth revolves around the sun, I mean that's clearly false. Everyone knows, according to the liberal internationalists, the universe revolves around America. That's what it revolves around.
Right.
And our great democracy and.
Well, I feel like Aaron, go. Yeah.
Did Jimmy use the verklempt list properly?
It's interesting you say that. That's actually, verklempt is a very misused word, and I think it means...
I have to hold them accountable.
We got to call them in. We have to call them in.
That is lateral violence, Aaron. You're committing lateral violence, Aaron.
Downward violence.
These are people who are, they're allies, Aaron, okay? They're Goyish allies, and we can bring them into the conversation and not shame them. Verklempt, actually, I don't know the, literal origin of it, but the way, it means emotional. But a lot of people think it means, overwhelmed, discombobulated, but I think it means moved. But you could say I'm moved by it, I'm all verklempt, but usually you're all verklempt. Like, I'm verklempt by people verklempt by this conversation, or I'm verklempt by all the people coming together to say that smearing people is bad. But,
and I will say that I'm very appreciative that I have the Gray Zone and people like Ben and Aaron and Max and everybody.
Happy birthday, Max! From yesterday, his birthday to send out. Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding! I missed his birthday. I didn't know that. How old is he? Is he 57?
Yeah.
No comment.
Max is 57.
Younger, but no.
It's so whenever I always think it's funny whenever someone. Is celebrating their birthday, I go, "Oh, you're so courageous, so courageous."
To celebrate it?
Yeah, so courageous. How old are you? And then I also
no vanity.
I also like to say, look into a camera, and go, "Can you believe how young I look?" Because at some time, in a few years, people will see this and go, "Wow, he did look young." These are the games I play to keep myself entertained during my life.
I like them.
Okay.
And Jimmy, you should. I just want to say you should come back to the show whenever, and we have to do a big one with you, Aaron, Ben. Sorry you were left out of the infiltration list, but Lee Camp is coming on Sunday. Coming on my show Sunday, and I feel like we've been silencing him. We haven't been elevating him because he, of course, according to Fox, it's like him and then Putin in the chain of command. So yeah.
Definitely. And Lee Camp leading the way, Putin right behind him.
And then the rest of us.
Well, Jill Stein, because Jill Stein, she made a telepathic connection with Putin when she was at that RT gala, and now she has the chip in her brain. So that's my fixer with the Kremlin. My connect is through Jill Stein.
Can I tell you the hardest thing about all this has been to not respond to the people's bad faith attacks against me. I have responded to several people, but I've gotten 1 million of them. And so I'll respond to 2 or 3, and then people will text me, don't do that. I'm like, do you realize the fucking restraint I'm actually exercising right now? It's unbelievable the restraint I'm exercising right. I got fucking Roland Martin pretending he doesn't know what #Force the Vote is about. What the fuck? And he said some stupid shit. Like, people like that coming out of the woodwork, fuck faces like that, who got caught fucking sneaking questions, still has a job in journalism, and he's gonna fucking try to take a shit on me because I have an idea? That's what's fucking wrong with this country.
That has been the weirdest part, is it's become this, rite of passage for blue check liberals to pretend. I mean, either to attack you or to pretend they don't know who you are.
Yes.
I saw Jeet here of the Nation. You know, he tweeted, "Okay, like I'll bite." Who is Jimmy Dore? As if he's trying.
Wait, who's Jeet here, Aaron?
He's a writer for the Nation, and it's like if you.
He did. Ben just did.
What, right. Sorry, I missed that.
He's the cartoon guy, right? He's got like
well,
the...
it's like either it's being, you know, facetious or, but if he actually doesn't know who Jimmy Dore is, what is he revealing about himself?
Right?
He's revealing that he's ignorant of a very popular leftist who has managed to attract a huge following